the same question about God.
Angels are messengers from God.
I think the explosion of interest in angels today is a search for something beyond ourselves.
The angel movement is not a movement, it's a marketing device.
For millions of children, the image of a guardian angel, a benevolent heavenly protector, provides comfort and reassurance. Artists throughout the ages have portrayed angels as beautiful androgynous spirits with silvery wings and golden halos. Are angels more than just popular religious icons? Recent surveys show that a surprising number of people still believe in the existence of angels, a noteworthy finding given the cynical nature of the times. But do angels actually exist? Heaven knows.
Looking at an angel sometimes is so clear for me. It's like looking at you sitting there, almost.
There's angels that save people, and angels that admonish people, and angels that give people warnings.
The angels have always been here. It's just that the people on the earth plane are now receiving them and accepting them, which maybe they didn't do 50 years ago.
The angel movement is not a movement, it's a marketing device. It's a way of assembling old things together in a new configuration with a new and hopefully more benign label on it, so that people will be more likely to buy it. And according to the response, obviously, they are.
Well, it's basically when I was a little girl and I was laying in bed, and I just remember seeing a vision of someone in a long kind of white flowing gown and long hair, and it was just a very brief thing, and I remember not being frightened of it.
Angels surround everybody. Angels are there when you need them. God sends them.
The beauty in people, that's what I think of as an angel, I think.
Throughout religious history, people have believed in spiritual beings that mediate between the sacred and earthly realms. In Western religions, benevolent spirits are often called angels, as opposed to malevolent demons. In Eastern and ancient traditions, the line is less defined. Spirit beings may be benevolent in some situations and malevolent in others. The term angel is derived from the Greek word angelos, which equates with the Hebrew word malach, meaning messenger. Thus, angels are literally heavenly messengers sent from God to reveal the purpose and destiny of man.
An angel is someone who is a bearer of good tidings, as in the Christmas story. The angel comes with good news. And the good news is primarily that he is the messenger of God.
I do think there are messengers from the divine, and I think they do manifest themselves in different ways to different people.
Phyllis Benjamin is director of the International Fortean Organization.
I think they manifest them in ways that are understandable to the different people around the world that they appear to. As we go around the world, we find that we have different names for people that represent the same thing.
The idea of an angel is very similar to the bodhisattva in Eastern religion, in Buddhism.
Reverend Canon Geddes McGregor is the author of Angels, Ministers of Grace.
Bodhisattva means really a little Buddha. That's you're not quite full. You had the opportunity to become a Buddha immediately, but you have renounced it in order to help mankind, which is typical of the Buddha, to do that kind of helping work. And so in Christianity, the angel fulfills many functions, but that's one of the chief ones.
A person, a researcher, someone seriously interested in the divine would be hard put to find a place on earth where there aren't evidence of angels.
According to Western tradition, a battle between the angels was fought before the creation of the world. The prideful Lucifer challenged God's supremacy, and he and his followers were cast out of heaven by angels that remained faithful. Lucifer became the prince of darkness, and his fallen angels devils. Since then, the forces of light and darkness have waged eternal battle over the human soul. In this battle, angels protect divine human nature against the false and profane temptations of the devil.
A great deal of medieval law is based upon that kind of idea, that our fate is pronounced by ourselves as a result of something that we have been lured into doing because of the bad angel.
Christian, Judaic, and Islamic traditions hold that the primary role of angels is to praise God and do His will. In carrying out divine will, angels are also said to intervene in human affairs, helping mortals to gain grace and heavenly favors, saving the weak and punishing the wicked.
In life, you walk through life, you'll have many, many, many angels around you.
Psychic Vincent Munden is a medium who claims contact with angelic spirits.
The angel will come in its spirit form first, then it will materialize in a human being. But only you that's talking to it can see it. And its job is to take you through whatever difficulty that has been asked of it to do.
There's no question that angels, like everything else, exist. The same question about God in the mind of somebody. But does the angel exist independently of me as an ontological reality, a reality independent of your ideas, what you think or what I think?
I don't personally believe that angels exist, but angels are part of a particular theological outlook. And since we live in a predominantly Judeo-Christian society, it's natural to ask that question. If we were living in India, one might ask, do you believe that Ganesh exists? Ganesh is the elephant god who has the head of an elephant. Millions of Indians believe that Ganesh lives. If you were to ask people in North America about Ganesh, about a god that has the head of an elephant, most of them would laugh. It just seems preposterous. Ask people in our society about angels, it doesn't seem preposterous.
If there were not a single human being left in the universe, there would still be a kind of record, if you wish, of the idea of angels.
Are there really angels among us with the power to protect us and intercede on our behalf? And if so, how do these angels compare with traditional angelic images?
In early Judaic tradition, angels took a human form, but by the 3rd century AD, the Judaic view of angels evolved into the concept of non-corporeal spirits who appeared as apparitions. In ancient Egypt, the depiction of wings symbolized a spiritual nature, and Christian art for centuries has portrayed angels as winged human figures. However, some 20th century angelic portrayals have done away with wings.
I told you I'm your guardian angel. I know everything about you.
Well, you look about like the kind of an angel I'd get. Sort of a fallen angel, aren't you? What happened to your wings?
Angels can appear in a variety of forms. The biblical examples that we have of them have them sometimes showing up in human form, sometimes with a sense of interior illumination, sometimes not, sometimes just an ordinary person.
Brooks Alexander is founder and research director of the Spiritual Counterfeits Project, founded in 1973.
They sometimes show up in very elaborate and ornate forms. There's not necessarily any limitations on how they could choose to depict themselves.
In the Renaissance, there was a great explosion of angels and cherubs. Angels in art have inspired people to such heights that there's something called Stendhal syndrome, where people have gone mad. People literally losing their wits in front of Renaissance paintings, of angels especially, because artists have always been visionaries, and they've talked about dreams, and they've talked about their quest for a connection with something higher than the mundane. And they express that in their art, and when they're successful, they move people.
An exhibition at Ontario's Joseph D. Carrier Gallery entitled Angelic Renaissance featured art inspired by the subject of angels. Artist Theo Dragonieri.
Winged figures throughout history, throughout man's mythologies, from as far back as Egyptian times. The whole idea of Isis being the protector of the dead was a winged woman figure. And in fact, with the shaking of the wings, Isis gave the breath of life to the Egyptian dead. Later on, through the Greek mythology, we have winged figures in the sirens. So the winged figure for the angel, once we go into the Christian period, is quite a powerful one.
What we have is a process in which the outward imagery of angels, the harps, the robes, the wings, the halos, all of that stuff, remain constant. But the content, the biblical content of the angel has been drained out and has been replaced by a new definition of what angels really stand for, which is the occult and psychic definition, essentially.
Aileen Noble is a hypnotherapist, author, and spiritual counselor who uses angels to help clients find spiritual enlightenment.
When a person first comes for a private session, they come into the office and I start tuning into their energy fields. Then the second part of the session is a spiritual hypnotic journey, which is like a meditation where I call in the angels and the guides to work with us, and the person's angels and guides are around them. And we go through this information that I'm given, psychically given, and given by the angels and the guides to help this particular person in whatever it is that they need to clear. It's very important. You've got guidance all around you. You've got guides here, you've got guides here, and you've got a beautiful angel above you. And I want to say that Archangel Michael is above you at this time. And he's watching over you, as he always does. But his purpose to be around you is because of your purpose to help others break through in a level